If women aren't treated equally in society, how can they be treated equally in marriage? There was an article I read that has stories of girls who were forced to marry at a very young age. There was a case in which a 12-year-old girl was fighting to divorce an 80-year-old man who paid her father $22,000 for permission to marry her. The judge just dropped the case and said it was legal in the country. Similarly, in another case, a judge's refusal to grant an 8-year-old a divorce indicated that the state endorsed child marriage. The judge was willing to order the man not to have sex with her until the girl really reached puberty, which was like 4 years later. In the eyes of most of the world, the fact that the man legally paid to marry this girl who was 70 years younger than him, and the fact that the father took the order and sold his daughter is both astonishing and abusive. During the story, most of us hope that this is a work of fiction. However, stories like this still happen in places like Saudi Arabia, a place that is known for its exploitation of human rights, especially those for women. Saudi Arabia is also known as the center of the Muslim faith, the place where Islam was born. This has the unfortunate ramification of leading people to equate Islam with Saudi customs. However, years ago, the Saudi king adapted his people's interpretations to fit his own needs. Known as Wahhabism, this interpretation has transcended through the years, thus altering the worldview of Islam. It has greatly abolished women's rights inside and out of marriage. In Saudi Arabia, the rights of spouses are not equal. Women are essentially at the command of their husband and cannot do much without their consent. For example, women cannot travel without permission, and they can't leave their house without consent or accompaniment of a family male figure. This tradition of arranged marriages can also be used to settle family debt and to establish connections to families of greater influence. So naturally, Saudi marriages favor men and suppress the rights of women. Historically, the tradition of young marriage was used to protect young women from being hurt in wars and in general. Sometimes young women got married when the male figure in their life, such as a father or brother, died. Other times, the vows were exchanged solely because marriage to a particular man was what her family chose for her. Today, many people around the world do not understand the real meaning of Islam, including Saudi Arabians themselves. Islam means peace and surrender. Saudis believe that they are doing the right things to be closer to Allah, but other branches of Islam fully disagree with what they do and their culture. Since its beginning, Islam has given many rights to women, including the right to own property, the right to divorce, the right to refuse a marriage, and the right to own a business. So clearly, the Saudi culture is not a definition of the true Islam by any means. If people spread awareness about the true Islam, some of the hate directed towards this religion will hopefully be eliminated. And the more educated people are about different cultures and religions, the broader their outlooks will be, and they will have more respect for other cultures and ideas. If focus for spreading the true meaning of Islam emerges around the world, Saudi Arabia will feel pressured to give women many more rights and to eliminate the harsh traditions of their culture. Another way that women's rights are suppressed is that it is clearly impossible for them to file for divorce. Abuse, whether physically or verbally, does not get a woman far in court, even with a medical report, because Saudi judges tend to believe that the wife most likely did something to provoke her husband. There are only 3 ways in which a woman can get a divorce. She must prove that his husband is a drug addict, has AIDS, or she's a daughter of a VIP. Love is of no relevance to marriage or divorce. Instead of being a symbol of love, marriage is used as a tool to achieve certain means. Also, in the event of a divorce, the children will most likely be kept with the father, not the mother. In the ideal world, all of the crude traditions of the Wahhabi culture would be diminished, and both sexes would live in equality and justice. People would realize that most of their traditions are unreasonable, outdated, and dreadful. It is perfectly fine to adapt a new way of life where there is freedom of expression, and equality, while still holding the values of the true meaning of Islam. Unfortunately, the geopolitical situation that exists today makes this seem far from happening. Thank you.